up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter. I was in a bit of a creative funk lately, but I did manage to come up with, back in my little brain files there, 3 Glam DIYs for you. So let's get right to them. But wait, there's more. Don't I sound like one of those commercial things on TV? Whatever. Anyway, don't forget to check the description box down below if you'd like to enter to win a really cute little bling owl keychain. I do a live chat and the drawing the first of every month. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media, I have a Pinterest, EP Midnight Crafter, Instagram, EP Midnight Crafter, or you can join our really fun Facebook group, Midnight Crafter Glue Dots. And there you can post ideas and creative things that you're working on to help me keep out of my creative funks. Anyway, let's get to crafting. I'm just going to start out by taking 2 of my 3 baskets and turning one upside down on top of the other. And you do want to make sure that these line up, which then also means that these top ones need to line up with those bottom ones. It just has a better fit that way. And what I'm going to be doing is attaching them not only with zip ties, these little zip ties from Dollar Tree, the really, really thin little ones, but also using some of my Gorilla Clear Grip or E6000 or anything like that that you might want to use. I'm going to throw a zip tie on there first and then add some of my glue just to kind of hold everything in place. Otherwise, this thing's just all over the place. I'm just going to put a zip tie on the opposing side. I think I'm just going to use 4 of them to kind of keep this all together. The glue is going to help, but I want to have the zip ties to make sure that everything is really, really solid. So you can see I've got everything lined up and nicely in place, glue in between. If you feel like you need to add some zip ties, some extra ones, you certainly can do that. I have a little bit of a space here, so I'm going to add another zip tie in there just to make sure that it's all held together. I'm trying to keep the zip ties evenly spaced just so that once I spray paint this, it will still look nice. Now you may choose to spray paint this gold. These baskets are already a nice gold color. The only reason I'm actually spray painting it is because the charger plate that I found was only in silver and I wanted it to be gold. So I wanted it all to match. I didn't find a gold one, so this isn't going to get sprayed silver. I will be trimming off this excess, but I'm not going to do it right this second because the next thing we're going to do is take our other basket here and we're going to be attaching that right here on top. Now also make sure again that these little wires are lined up the same so that you get a better match. And I'm going to be using again my Gorilla Clear Grip and then also my zip ties. For this I'm going to zip tie one on this corner and one on this corner, but I'm going to be doing them diagonally across to hold the baskets in place. So like that, if you can see that. I'm actually going to do all 4 of these corners on here just to make sure that not only it holds well, but it looks like it was planned that way and doesn't look kind of obvious that we have zip ties. So you should have something now that looks like this, and I'm going to go ahead now and use some wire cutters, and you can use scissors, but I just like using wire cutters because they're easier, and cut off all the little excess piece of zip tie that's hanging down. Then we're going to take this piece out and get it spray painted to match whatever your charger plate color is. For mine, I'm going to be using this Rust-Oleum metallic finish silver, and I think that will be a nice match. Okay, so I got this all painted, but then I had an afterthought. So using all these Mardi Gras beads, I'm going to go over some of these wires with the Mardi Gras beads. So what you want to do then is wait till after you get the Mardi Gras beads on to spray paint this, because the glue will hold a lot better. But I didn't think about that, so I'm going to have to re-spray paint again over. But again, you guys can learn from my mistakes. I'm going to be using my Gorilla Glue and my hot glue to glue these beads into place. One or the other doesn't work very well. You probably want to use the both of them to really get this to hold. And I'm going to be gluing these on to these downward sections here. Now I'm going to be putting both on here, as I said, but you do want to leave a little bit of space between, because the hot glue and the Gorilla Glue don't work well together, or the E6000. One won't stick over the other. So I'm going to leave a few little spaces for that hot glue to stick on there. Now, it will definitely be easier to do this standing up. I'm just doing this in this direction so that you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna have to stand it up so I can actually make sure these stick. So you get the idea. I'm gonna go around on each one of these sections and glue the beads on. And it is easier if you cut them to the length that you need so that you don't have that extra weight hanging down. Here's what we're gonna be doing. One Mardi Gras necklace will do 3 sections. Here's what it looks like all done. It's going to need plenty of time to dry because that E6000, as I said, and the paint don't do well together. That's why I would definitely do it before you paint your baskets. I'm going to go ahead and give this a spray paint so all these Mardi Gras beads are silver like the rest of our project. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like the project that never ends. It keeps morphing as I'm going along. So I spray painted that. I really like the way it looks having the beads there, but now I feel like I want some more here. So I have a few left of my regular size Mardi Gras beads. I'm going to use those to go around here, maybe here, I'm not sure yet. And then I just had these in my stash. They're Mardi Gras beads, but they're a smaller size. You can see the difference here. And I'm gonna use those also to try and go around. And then I'm going to spray paint it yet again. I think after that we'll be done, but gosh, you know, you never know. I may end up deciding to do something else. So we're going to have to see how that goes, but that's the way I roll over here. Okay, everything's in place. Here we go for spray painting number 3. So the final painting is done and I am really satisfied with the way it's looking. The last thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking our silver charger here and we're going to be gluing it right onto the top here. And I'm going to use again my E6000 or Gorilla Glue and put that on here as well as some hot glue. Get this attached and this will be done. For this next project, we're going to take our glass vase here, and I usually like to clean mine off with a little bit of rubbing alcohol just to make sure that the paint really adheres nicely. So we're going to be cleaning the outside off really well, get off any little oily fingerprints or anything that might be on there so that we get a really nice finish with our spray paint. Once you do that, you're going to want to stuff the inside of this with something. If you have tissue paper or an old bag or something that you can shove down in there, because we don't want our spray paint to get on the inside. I'm going to use a little bit of this painter's tape to put down on that inside edge so that none of the paint gets down in there either. And I'm just going around lining that edge. Actually, I'm going to clean it again with alcohol just since I've been handling it so much. So save that step until after you get all your tape and everything in place. Then I'm going to take it outside and give it a spraying with my, again, my metallic silver paint because that coordinates nicely with the stickers that I'm going to be using. This is nice and dry. I've taken all of the stuff out from inside. Look at how cool this looks. I mean, this just by itself looks really great with that metallic spray paint. But we're not going to stop there. I'm going to use these really, really cool stickers that I found in the Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree. And I like that's why I picked the silver here to spray this with. And I really like the way they are already patterned out on this page. So I'm just going to take and stick them on directly the way that I see them on this backing that they already have. I'm not going to stick them on with the backing, but I'm going to stick them on. Now, there's a possibility, and we're going to find out together, that they may not stick well. And then I'm just simply taking these and sticking them directly on. They're a little bit stiff. Yeah, so they're not bending very well. I may use my heat gun to heat them up to soften them to make them a little more pliable and sticky. Okay, so we're going to walk through this process together because I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a try. So I'm using my Stampin' Up! Heat gun. Any heat gun brand is fine. And that worked great, actually. The smaller stickers you're not going to have as much trouble with, obviously, because they're not going to be as wide. But they do also stick up too. So I'm going to put a few on there first, and then I'm going to heat them up right directly on the jar itself. Okay, I'm just going to continue putting these on. And by that time I should know how well they're going to stick or if the edges are going to lift. And if that happens, then we got to come up with a plan B. Here's how it looks with one row of stickers around. If you would like to leave it just like this, that would be great too. I think I'm going to keep going and do a little bit more and add some more stickers onto there as well. The heat gun so far looks like it did the trick, guys. So once those cool off, hopefully they will be formed and stick really well to the vase. I am going to need to open a second pack to get all the way around. If you're only doing that one row, you can do it with one pack of stickers. Starting out for this project, I'm going to be using these laser cut, they're called laser cut craft icons from the Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree. These are, I think, newer, and I love them. And I'm going to start out by opening the packages and spray painting all of these silver. Now, if you, of course, don't want the glam style, you can either leave them this color or maybe give them a whitewashed effect, whatever fits your decor. I do want to figure out how many of them I want to use because they're going to be going around this mirror here. I really like these ones that are a little flatter. They're going to give me a little more surface area. But I really like the way they look, so I'm going to be putting these around the edges here and need to kind of figure out how many of them that I will need to go all the way around. It looks like it's probably going to be about 8 or 9 of them. Okay, these are all sprayed and I've picked out the ones that I want to use to go around my mirror. So I'm gonna get started with that. And I just put a piece of paper on here so we don't have to, you know, you guys, I actually have hair color on my hair right now, so I'm hiding from you. All right, so I'm gonna use my E6000 as well as my hot glue. The hot glue is going to be just to hold them in place until this actually Gorilla Glue dries. And I'm going to be gluing it right around on the side here of the mirror. So find the spot on the flower that I guess maybe stands up the best, and then add a little bit of glue to the front side of it. And I really don't like putting hot glue over E6000, but I just need a dot of it, and hopefully I left enough space that it will actually stick. And then just adhere that to the side of your mirror. Now, I'm actually going to put a piece of parchment paper under because I have a feeling it might end up sticking to my desk, and that would not be good. So I've got that one in place, just like that. And now I'm just gonna continue around, and each leaf I'm gonna have it slightly touching the next one so that it has also a little bit more stability aside from just what's sticking on the side of the mirror. Easy project, guys. So you can see I very slightly overlapped so that part of the leaf has something else to stick onto. And I'm going to continue around with the rest of my leaves and flowers until I get the full circle done. They're all glued on, and now I'm just going to let this dry really, really well before I pull off the paper, and then we'll be all done with that one. You can use this to put maybe a candle in, or set a vase into, or use it as a tray. It's got a lot of different options.